Hey gang, did I surprise you? It's still Hippie Talks, but it's indoors today for maybe three reasons. I've got a horrible migraine. I don't feel well. Just don't feel well. I just washed my hair, so I don't want to go outside. It's 0 or -1. It's definitely cold, 32 for you in Fahrenheit. And finally, I don't remember the finally, so this is going to have to do. So, friends, this one, you've already read the title. You cheated. I haven't made it yet. I don't know how you keep doing that. But this time it is Cannabis, the Exit Drug. And that is really, it's my title. But this entire subject was raised by, I've done it before, but this time it was raised by Ian Munn. Big shout out to you, Ian, for a couple reasons. Bringing this, and you've brought other subjects to this channel. But also, you just sent me a gift of medicine, and I want to thank you. It was so well received. Blueberry lamb's bread is probably one of my favorites. And the number three was no, I already. Never mind. Let's get off of that. Let's get back to this cannabis as an exit drug. I want to give you the backstory as to what precipitated this. Ian had to go on a trip, and he was asking what he should do medically. And those of us who buy our stuff from dispensaries have a more difficult time when we're traveling, especially by plane, because if you don't have it in its original container, you get it taken away, you could get in trouble, all that kind of stuff. And I just said, maybe it's best to take a bunch of CBD and take your THC pill just before the plane, and you should be okay. Have medicine delivered to you where you're going so you don't have to carry it with you, that kind of stuff. That precipitated it. And then he got with a bunch of people, and he was going to a meeting, an AA meeting with a family member who frequents them. And there and power to you, Ian. He talked about his own path and how he is now on cannabis and getting off of the more difficult stuff, be it alcohol or anything. And he came to me and said, how do I explain to them that this is a positive? They were like, we'll pray for you to get off the weed and that kind of stuff. And and he's kind of, how do I combat that? Well, first of all, let the baby have their cookie. If they believe that it's an evil thing, their belief really has very little power over you, so let them believe it. If it's important to change their mind, get some printed materials that prove that it. Look it up. It is not a gateway drug. Check. Cannabis is not a gateway drug, and you'll find 20, 30,000 different places that you can get material that you can print off and give to these people. Not only is it not a gateway drug, and very non-addictive, wouldn't say totally non-addictive, but very non-addictive, it is an exit drug. And I'm going to explain this from my own circumstances in a couple situations. First of all, in 2003, I was told I had 6 months to a year to live. My liver had gone kaput. One of the toughest times of my life. That day, I quit alcohol, something that I had enjoyed since I was 18. Yeah, okay. I don't know why the word 18, the number 18 came into my mind, because I actually enjoyed alcohol way long before that, but I shouldn't have. I really believe that you should. I wish I had stayed away from everything till I was 18 or 20 so that my brain could have fully developed. I don't know if I caused any damage. I had a really good and very educated life, so I don't think it caused me damage. I'm really getting off topic. So I was told that I was dying, and I had to quit alcohol right away because I was going to beat this. I mean, when you're told that, you either just go and get a case of beer and just drink yourself to death, or you decide that your life is worth it, and I did. And I quit. I quit that day. I poured out 6 beer into my sink that day. And I had actually been about a year cannabis free. I very often would just quit cannabis for a little while. You know, it was getting too much to me, and then I'd just quit for 6 months, a year, something like that. And I was not doing it then. And I was finding my cravings for the drink was really high. So I went and bought some black hash. And black hash got me through quitting alcohol. And I ended up quitting it again. You know, staying off the cannabis again after. So I know it's only anecdotal, but there's a perfect example of how not only was I not addicted to it, I only used it as a tool with which to quit something that was very, very dangerous. And alcoholics, especially at AA, must see this could be just a remote thing for that one AA meeting or group of people. It's hard to say. I don't want to pass judgment. They come from where they come from. But there is a perfect example of using cannabis to get off a poison, and alcohol is a poison. There is a recent study that says no amount of alcohol is safe. I don't know how much I agree with it, but there are no studies that say no amount of cannabis is safe. In fact, large amounts of cannabis are safe. So, Ian, if they said you're just replacing one vice with another, you could say, well, if that's the case, that's like changing one habit to another, a very dangerous habit like jumping cliffs to a habit like collecting stamps. If that's the way you changed, you have changed for the better, and say so. Say so. Say, even if you think that cannabis is bad for me, it is not as bad for me as alcohol. So if I have replaced one vice with another, at least I've improved. But then go into the talk about its addictiveness. Its addictiveness is very, very low. It is one of the easiest things to quit. I've quit it so many times throughout my life and then gone back to it because realized it's not that bad in my life. I do really well with it, but I never did well with alcohol. So shame, shame, shame on those people putting you down, Ian, for doing something positive in your life. But also, when we as cannabis users will always experience a stigma. Maybe a generation from now, for sure by 2 generations from now, the stigma will be gone. But we carry that torch. We hold it. And we will feel people's brunt against it. We will constantly have that in our ear from friends, from family. It gets less and less as the years go by, but it'll always be there, and we just have to arm ourselves with education, arm ourselves with knowledge, talk the good talk when it's needed, and most often go the hippie way. Let the baby have their cookie. If the cookie's bad and they're insisting they have it, well, let them deal with it. It's not a pressing thing to you. If it is, you need to solve it through education. But if it isn't, if you really look at what is their point of view going to really do against you, if it's very little, walk away. Walk away. Friends, peace and cheers, love and harmony. Catch you on the flip side.